I have spent years studying what it takes to become a UFC champion, with the hopes that I could implement those steps into the success of my own life. And what I found is I can narrow it down to just three things.
If someone did it, I also can do it. And if no one did it, I can be the first one to do it.
I've lost my mind doing this game, yeah? Like Vincent van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me.
The first aspect is the initial spark that starts the journey to becoming a champion. The second aspect is the crucial, non-negotiable, widely understood aspect that starts the building blocks of becoming a champion. And the third aspect is the most crucial, the final driving point that takes it home to be an undeniable UFC champion. To start off with number one, to become a champion in my own life, I realized the initial heart and ambition all comes from a purpose and a desire. Now, for a UFC champion, that is to fight and usually to be the best. And once they desire being the absolute best, they lose it a little. They go crazy because they have a mission.
But fuck it. When that gold belt is around my waist, when my mother has a big mansion, when my girlfriend has a different car for every day of the week, when my kids have everything they ever want, then it will pay. Then I'm happy I lost my mind. Yeah?
And what I've realized with many people, including myself in the past, was that I didn't have a direction, I didn't have a purpose, I didn't have a mission, so I had no ambition and drive. I had no heart. And when I realized this, I was able to pick a direction and go for it and realize that I did have something in my life that had meaning and I wanted to chase something more. And once I had the ambition and drive, I was able to give up things that were holding me back. And with a UFC champion, it's different, but same.
So,
If you want to have an extraordinary life, you have to be an extraordinary person, right?
yes.
Now, some of us are lucky enough to be born with this ambition and drive, but many of us just don't have it, especially when we're poisoned by our food that we consume, especially when there's drugs and alcohol in the mix, and there's things that distract us and keep us from picking a direction and finding a mission. And for those of you that haven't found it yet, you have two options: sitting down, taking the time to really find what you want your meaning to be, or you can wait for it. But the trade-off is if you try to actually figure it out, if you are proactive about finding your direction and your ambition and your meaning, then you're guaranteed to find it if you keep just searching for it. But if you wait for it, you might be lucky enough to get it. It might hit you in the face, but a lot of times that takes getting to a low enough level, falling far enough into the hole that you decide to make a change and figure out what matters to you. So I would suggest trying to find your meaning, pick that direction, and give it your all. Have the ambition, lose your mind to it. You'll be satisfied in the end.
Anything can be achieved and it can be achieved like that.
Now, number two, it's the non-negotiable building blocks for literally anything, but definitely for becoming a UFC champion. And that is repetition.
What you do in your daily habits, what makes the difference, right? Because we can decide our future, but we can decide our habits, and our habits decide our future.
Consistently over time and maintain that through the struggle, through the hardships. And that really is it. If you can show up every single day, you're already going to be better than 99% of people, because almost nobody will consistently continue to do it day in and day out.
You want to become best, you want to become champion, and now you want to say like you tired. Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody cares.
And that's the most basic thing for obtaining anything in your life in reality. And so when I looked at needing to make changes in my own life, when I gave up drugs and alcohol, when I lost the weight, that was the most important thing. And I was able to copy a UFC champion's mindset to implement that in my own life, because it's just repetition. It's just repeat, repeat, repeat. Now, while step number two is the most difficult to implement in your life, it does something very, very special. It, of course, makes you realize that you can get good at something and show up every day. But what it really does is creates confidence. You start to believe in yourself. And now we get to aspect number 3. This is delusional self-belief. It is the law of attraction. It is believing in such full faith that you will obtain your goal, that you manifest it into reality.
Key to living the law of attraction. Some good shit. Some good little quotes and all like that. I like reading. Let's just grab one anyway. Constant repetition carries conviction. Some good shit, isn't it?
Every single successful person has this, and every single champion has this. And if you're sitting there saying that's just a mindset gimmick, maybe you're one of those
because I only believe in science
type of people. Well, if you only believe in science, the placebo effect has been scientifically proven for 70 years, with observations dating as early as the 1700s. So if that's not scientific proof enough for you, I don't know what is. And if you're not familiar with the placebo effect, it's simply a control group in an experiment that isn't under the influence of a mechanism or drug, but still feels the effect as the group that is because they believe they are on something. And that shows the power of the human brain. If you believe it to be true, it might as well be true because you'll manifest it into reality.
What are you envisioning now as far as the way the fight goes?
I'm going to finish him in the first round.
You say that to me like I say I'm going to get a coffee.
Well, he's already busted up. Oh! Out cold.
A man of his word.
Oh, my goodness.
And now
he called it. He called it.
And if you think that believing in yourself is some cliche saying, well, that's because it's been observed as true for 300 years. Since the 1700s, we've acknowledged this. Well, that's great. Because if I want to be a champion in my own life, just like a UFC champion in their fighting careers, I have to pick my direction. I have to make sure it matters to me, find that ambition, find my heart, find my drive. And then I just show up every day. And that showing up every day creates the delusion in my head that I'm going to succeed. And then that drives home me succeeding. How wonderful is that? All of a sudden, life is a gift. It's no longer this curse of fulfilling some meaningless duty every single day and not being happy. If you can find that purpose, then I urge you, go out there, get the fuck after it. All you gotta do is find something that matters to you, that gives you fulfillment deep inside, then act every day. And then start to believe in yourself. And that just happens once you show up every day. And when I realized this, I realized that, well, it's just a matter of time. It's inevitable. As long as I believe, as long as I have meaning, as long as I act, I will obtain my goal. And I get to look forward to that every day. And you can too. If you don't believe yet, just keep going, because I believe in you.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the fuck he wants.
Don't you want a little taste of the glory?
Do you want to be a fighter? That is my question.
I said I'd knock him out in the first round, and I knocked him out in the first round. You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
If you could be a superhero, like which superhero you would be?
Nate Diaz.
Diaz gets the mouth. My goodness. Now he's got the back.
Now. That's it. He's got the shot.
Nate Diaz.
He's out.
He has done it.